Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Power Season 5, Episode 3, you guys. So, we about to start on Power, and child, I tell you, this show is full of the devil. But enough about all of that. Let's get started, shall we? Alright, so it's the day after James and killed the man in the alley. I think James is losing it a little bit. He washing his face, looking in the mirror, looking at his hands like, did I just do that? He's getting ready for his day, and he gets a call from the front desk, says that the police are there. James has them come on up, and the detective is still sniffing around this investigation. Good thing they did that press conference that they didn't want to do. Tasha want to know why he's there. Well, the detective wants to talk to Tyreek. You said that you didn't go out when Raina got shot, but somebody said that they saw you go out after she went out the door. Is that how it happened? And Tyreek kind of acts like he don't really remember. When it looks like the detective is probably going to ask too many questions, Tasha's like, oh, we got to get ready for the day. So the detective understands, okay, go on about your day. But James and Tasha and Tyreek, everybody looking around, when James leaves, Tasha says, are you sure you're telling me everything? Were you out there when when Raina got shot? He promises that he wasn't. Now James take it on over to Tommy's house, meeting up with his boys, Tommy and Kanan. And James is asking Kanan, like, does anybody, he still want to know if Ray and Tyreek, had more of something going on that other people could, would know about. And Kanan was just like, not nothing more than I've already told you. I ain't talked to him. Y'all told me to stop talking to him, so I ain't talked to him. They like, why all these questions? And he was like, because the damn detective came by and we did that press conference, and now it's kind of put the heat on the investigation. Tommy was like, why you can't keep your ass off of TV? Okay, but you guys know that James is still trying to keep his foot in that legitimate world. He still wants out, and for whatever reason, he keeps on thinking that, all he got to do is this one last thing and then he's going to be out. And it's just never one last thing. Now, this lady detective that works for NYPD, she is still sniffing around Angie. She ain't really sure why Angie is so involved as a federal prosecutor, why she would even be concerned about, the small business of Ray. Okay, so she goes and talks to the detective that's heading Raina's investigation. He tells her that Ray had gone to talk to Tariq at his school, and Tariq had cut class that day. That was the day that they was robbing that house. This is all gonna come back to bite Tariq, you guys. But anyway, he had cut class, so he ended up talking to Ray ended up talking to Raina instead. And not only that, Angie Valdez came by the school a few days afterwards to talk to Tyreek. Okay, so they all trying to figure out why Angie is so involved in this lowly police detective case. They trying to connect the dots. Like, why do the feds care? So we see Angie. She's with the black lady, and she is just telling her about the surveillance, about the gun. Angela feels like they have enough to arrest Diego Jimenez, but the black lady is telling her, no, we can't do that right now. I mean, just because we just get him, that's not gonna, his operation is huge. That's not going to cripple them. It's going to keep on going. It's going to end up blowing, them knowing that we are trying to investigate them and trying to get them. We want the whole group, not just one. Cut off the head. Angela is trying to convince Tamika, that's her name, that getting Jimenez should be the top priority. And when we see Tommy agrees. Okay, killing Diego should be the top priority. He's telling Ghost and Kanan that. But all James wants to do is kill Dre. Okay, he don't give a fuck about none of the rest of them. Tommy says, well, Dre is not stupid. He gonna realize that we've been following him around. He's gonna put two and two together and know we after him. So then Kanan jumps in and was like, well, that nigga 2-Bit, that's Dre's boy. They beefing. They was like, how you know this? He's like, well, I was following him the other day, doing a little surveillance of his own. Ghost was like, I thought we was working together. He was like, we just, I'm just trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on. But yeah, they was beefing, and I bet you I can get to 2-Bit and I can change him. I can make him go against Dre. They're not sure if that's going to work, but Kanan is convinced that it will. Okay, well, anyway, Ghost got to go on about his day. So when he's walking out the door, Tommy runs up to him and was like, hey, listen. I got some money. I need to just, I need to clean it. You think I could run it through the club real fast? And James was like, nah, I can't do that. I'm trying to keep my nose clean. Especially with this investigation for Raina's death, I can't have no dirt like that, okay? But you're going to be all right, right? Okay, now Kanan, of course, he's listening. So when Ghost leaves, Kanan was like, look, after Dre is dead, why don't you let me get in on the whole deal? Let me move that product for you. Tommy not sure, but he was like, look, if I do let you in, okay, you're going to have to pay up front like everybody else. Okay, nigga, this ain't the homie hookup. Now we see Dre at the warehouse with 2-Bit and Spanky. They sound like just some old bumbling fools, don't they? Diego is there, and they're surprised to see him. Also got Arturo there, the Todos Locos people there, got the Jimenez people there, and Dre was just like, look, I just brought everybody here because I want to make everything clear. Arturo over there got revenge on his cousin's death. Okay, killed Lorenzo. Diego was like, is that true? And, Arturo says, yeah, that was me. Chest all puffed out. 2-Bit over there, he mad. Okay, nigga taking his credit. I said, ooh, that 2-Bit is going to be so easy to turn. He ain't going to last long, y'all. Diego says that, word on the street is a lot of people don't believe that he did it. And Dre was like, well, if anybody said it, they going to get dealt with. Diego look over at Dre like, all right, I always got to speak up when ain't nobody asked you shit. But Dre was like, we run a tight ship over here, Diego. You ain't got to worry about it. And Diego was like, you know what? I need to see this tight ship. Okay, that you speak of. Diego ain't stupid. He asked Arturo, do you have control of the organization? And, Arturo says, yeah, I do. He said, okay, well, then let's get on down to the organization and let me see how you handle people that turn against you. People that are disloyal. So then Dre is getting nervous because, he ain't really sure if Arturo can handle something like this. So he kind of pulls Diego to the side. Let me talk to you for a second. Are you sure that this is a good idea? Everything that's going on, we don't want the police to see us or anything. He was like, kill that noise. I don't give a fuck about the police. We going down to the organization, see how he deal with it. So when they all about to leave, Spanky and 2-Bit, they over there, they mad. They ain't getting their credit, You see how that nigga say that he the one that killed Lorenzo? And 2-Bit like, yeah, I saw. Oh, man. They so damn stupid. Neither one of them gonna last long. Now, jumping over to James and Councilman Tate, they meeting with an investor. I said, look at Fancy. Fancy got the big money to put into this sports entertainment center, I guess, that they're trying to open in the old neighborhood. Okay, so Councilman Tate is telling her all of this shit that they gonna have happening, and James even throws in that they gonna have retail space on the bottom. She was like, wait, retail? I don't think that place is zoned for retail. And he says it's not, but we working on it. That's what Councilman Tate said. He looking over at James like how your mama look at you when you said some shit you wasn't supposed to say, and she be looking at you like, wait till we get home. She was just like, oh, okay, well, once she hears that maybe it might be some old shady, they ain't putting everything on the table kind of shit, she was like, you know what, it sounds like it's a good idea, but it ain't for me. Good luck to you guys. And she leaves. So when she leaves out, he tells James like, why would you say that? Okay, you trying to mess it up? James was like, look, that's one investor, there'll be plenty others. And he was like, no, she has the big money and we needed to get her on our page. He chastising James about fucking up the deal, but James was like, listen, if you don't understand, this is my vision. The only reason why you even want me involved is because I make shit happen. And so then Councilman Tate tries to tell James that he needs to take a break. Okay, maybe with this investigation and everything, maybe you got too many things going on. You going to take a break, let me handle it. He was like, excuse me, this is my vision. Okay, I'm going to handle it. You ain't got to worry about it. You can see yourself out. And walked out while he fixed his jacket. I was cracking up. Councilman Tate was molded. Now back with Angie's team. Okay, first chair John. I gotta remember everybody's name. Overly dedicated committee member. They down at the jailhouse. They talking to Teresi. And they let Teresi know that Tommy is his son and that Tommy been down there visiting and all of that. And Teresi starts laughing. He was just like, I done set this whole thing up. Y'all up here thinking that, Daddy's found his long lost son. But, I figured that you guys would be watching around on Tommy and eventually you would come here and talk to me. He want to strike a deal. First chair John said, so you using him? And he was just like, yeah, of course I am. You think he knows anything? Nah, he don't know anything. He just thinks that I'm just, dad trying to get close to his son. Now, the detective, the NYPD detective, now that she done got that other information from the investigator, she goes and talks to Angie. Still sniffing around, trying to find a connection. Of course, Angie gives her the cold shoulder and is not giving her any information. The reason why she went to the school to talk to Tariq is because she's just personally close to Raina. She's close to them that way. So it has nothing to do with anything else. Okay, but of course the NYPD detective does not believe her. Angie basically tells her, look, I got shit to do and it don't involve you, so you can see yourself out. I got work to do. And when she leaves, she texts Tasha, we need to talk. And when we see Tasha, Tasha is at the meeting for the grieving families. She's there by herself. James is not there, but she's just sitting and listening, and the couple that's explained how their kid was killed by the drunk driver, they tell the group that the man was killed, he was stabbed to death, and now the police suspect that the father is the person that did it. Tasha's listening and she's just like thinking like, oh my God. And at the same time, the poor mother, she says that this doesn't help anything. She thought that she would feel better if the man was dead, but it's not like it's gonna bring their child back. So James hasn't fixed anything. If anything, he's probably made shit worse for them. So that's one more thing for Tasha to worry about. But now that she's got the text message from Angie that she has to meet, so here they go, the strange bedfellows meeting up again. Angela says that, look, they starting to connect Raina and Tyreek and Ray and all of that. All right, and I'm not sure if I can fix it or not. If I can't fix it, we're going to have to talk to Jamie. Tasha was like, no. Okay, Ghost got his own problems right now. She's thinking to herself, the nigga out here killing folks and everything. So we can't involve Jamie. He just gonna make shit worse. Now Kanan, okay, making good on his promise. He is hiding in the shadows of an alley, and Two-Bit come around the corner. Hey, nigga, what's up? Where you been? I ain't seen you in a long time. Kanan was like, yeah, I was out of town, but Kanan get to telling him how Dre killed Brockman. I think that's what the guy's name was. That's the one that Dre shot. And remember when Kanan had him in the trunk of the car and Dre killed him? Well, he put the kill on Dre. He was telling Two-Bit, like, he didn't tell you any of that. And, Two-Bit was like, no, he ain't told me none of that shit. And he was like, well, damn, he don't tell you shit. He act like you the policeman or something. And then Two-Bit started thinking, like, you know what? He did take away my gambling shit. He gave that shit to Cristobal. He was like, he's the head of the Tainos or something like that. Well, what's the name of the group, y'all? Tainos? But as far as Two-Bit is concerned, he thinks that Diego Jimenez actually likes Cristobal better than he likes Dre. And Kano was like, everybody likes everybody better than they like Dre, okay? Including us watching the damn show. I said, Kanan, you ain't never lied. Now back to Teresi. We see him on the phone. He's talking to Tommy. And he's telling Tommy how he about to get out of jail. And Tommy was like, what? Okay, now you was in jail for life and all of a sudden you about to get out. Why? I don't really know. It has something to do with a dirty prosecutor or something. They throwing out all his old cases, so I'm probably going to get out. Tommy was like, oh, okay. Not real sure how to take this, but he was like, I can't wait to be around you, son. Okay, like he want to spend all his time with Tommy. Tommy was just like, okay, yeah. When they hang up the phone, though, he hands the phone back over to first chair, John, and I said, oh, okay, so Teresi not necessarily snitching, but this can't be looked upon as good in even the mafia. Now, Tasha goes home and she tells Ghost how when she was at the meeting, she found out that the man that was arrested for the DUI, that he was found killed. He had been stabbed to death in the alley. James was sort of just looking like, oh. And she was like, please tell me you didn't do it, So he's smirking like, I didn't do it. She was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Okay? You can do all of this. You can kill everybody. It is not going to bring your child back. But James' whole thing is like, you know what? He had to make it right. You did not make it right. They suspect that the damn father is the man that killed him. The man might go to jail if he don't have a credible alibi that they believe. So Tasha's trying to explain that to him. James don't want to hear it. She was like, well, look, you so wanting to kill some damn body. Why don't you kill Kanan? Okay, for fucking this family up. I said, oh no, honey, Kanan and James is ace boon coons these days. Tommy goes to see Keisha. Okay, and you guys know that Keisha got a soft spot in her heart for Tommy, but she trying to be hard. When he comes over, she's like, what you doing here? And he was like, I just wanted to talk to you. She was like, I got somebody coming over. He was like, a dude? And she was like, none of your business, but what do you want? So he comes in there and he tells her how his father is about to get out of jail and he don't really know how to take it. And she was just like, well, it could be, maybe he just wants to right a wrong, maybe he wants to make up for lost time. And he asked her, does she believe that? And she was like, well, I don't really know. What do you believe? Tommy's whole thing is he don't want to make a mistake. Then he throws in that he made a mistake with her. And she was like, okay, don't throw me in there. You here to talk about your daddy. You trying to talk about getting back in with me because that ain't fixing to happen. Tommy don't know what he gonna do about the daddy, so she tell him to just check up on him. And he says, yeah, I think maybe I will. Okay, and then he thanks her. And then he tries to give her a kiss, and then she swerve him real quick, kind of turn her head. I said, that's right, Keisha. Stay strong, even though you really like Tommy's ass, okay? You're probably gonna give it to him again, but at least let the nigga work for it. Now, Tasha goes over to Tommy's house to talk to him, but then she bumps into Kanan in the hallway. And he, of course, is Kanan. He's smirking. Hey, Tasha, how you doing? And, of course, Tasha blames him for fucking up her kids, fucking up her family, fucking up her life. Kanan kind of threatens her like he could do something to her, too. And she was like, let me tell you something, nigga. If you gonna kill me, you better not make a mistake. Because if you don't kill me, I'm gonna come after your ass and I'm gonna kill your ass. And Kanan was like, you know what? And I believe you too. That damn Kanan is an asshole. And then right while they talking and all close and mad and shit, Tommy come off the elevator and he was like, what's going on? And she was like, fuck you, Tommy, and fuck Kanan. Okay, she pissed. She go rushing out, so he come running out after her. What happened? What went on up there? She was like, Tommy, I'm so sick of Kanan being around. Like, why are you guys with him? He is no good. And Tommy was like, he just a means to an end. Once we get all this shit settled with Dre and everything is gonna be done, we're not gonna deal with him no more. But what you come over here for? What's up? And then she was like, well, Ghost killed this man who killed one of the kids at the grief counseling group that I go to at the church. He was a drunk driver. And Tommy was like, well, I mean, that can't be bad. She was like, but listen, that's not good, okay? James is acting reckless. We don't need no shit that's gonna come back on us because of the mistakes that he out here making. Now, he killing folks that ain't even got shit to do with us. So I need you to keep your good cat eye on Ghost. And Tommy says, will do. And as far as Kanan, don't worry, he gonna be out as soon as we done. All right, Tasha was like, he better be. Now, back at the Todos Locos. All right, Arturo got to prove to Diego that he's hard. So he got these 3 supposed disloyal or traitor people, the people that was more loyal to Lorenzo. They tied up, they gagged up, and he's acting like he gonna kill them right then. Okay, Diego was like, no, you gotta look them in their eye when you're about to kill somebody. So what exactly was the problem? What did they do? Diego's asking Arturo this, and Dre jumps in and says, they was out there, they was running their mouth to Lorenzo. That's what they was doing. He said, why the fuck? Every time I ask Arturo something, you got to run in here with your big fucking mouth and answer for him. I didn't ask you shit. So damn annoying. Arturo says, well, you know what? Dre was right. He was out there. He was talking a lot of shit. So Diego was like, oh, okay. So that's how it was. Huh? Well, maybe we should hear from them. Okay, so he threatening to take the gag out so that guy can talk. All right, and the guy is all, man is trying to say some shit. I said, take the gag out, Diego. Take it out. But then he doesn't. He said, oh, you know what? That's all right. Go on and kill him. And that relieves everybody because now nobody can take up for what they did. And Arturo goes and shoots everybody in the head. Pow, pow, pow. But Diego was like, you know what? You need to make sure that you keep your whole crew in check. Okay, ain't got time to be coming out here and watching motherfuckers get killed in warehouses and everything. And since shit been going crazy around here lately, I'm gonna make Cristobal the number 2 person. So not Arturo, but Cristobal. Then he said something about accusing Dre of wanting his sister or something. What was that about, y'all? I was confused. Dre was like, I don't want your damn sister. I didn't know what that had to do with anything. So what did I miss, you guys? Now back at Angie's office, and she's walking out of a room and she bumps into Steve Tampion. Okay, he's from the DC office. He's the director of public enrichment. And them two are talking and giving each other the googly eye and all that. I didn't know who he was or why he was there. They didn't really explain who he was or why he was there, but he asked Angela out for dinner. And because she was so overtaken by his Rico Suave, she tells him that, 8 o'clock they can go to dinner. Now, later on, we see Tommy. He meet up with Proctor, and, Proctor's like, we not even supposed to be around each other. Like, what are you calling me for? Tommy want to know what's going on with his dad. He's not real sure if this is a good thing that his father might be getting out of jail. But Proctor tells him, look, what I looked into, it looks like it's legit. Okay, looks like he's getting out. Tommy was like, you think he in there snitching? He was like, no, I don't think he's snitching. I mean, he's a made man. So, shit is just happening for him and he about to be out. Plus, if he was snitching, they would have him in witness protection so fast. So, he's not working with the feds. But Tommy is still real suspicious. I was like, please, Tommy, keep that suspicious bone in your body The shit ain't right and you know it. Proctor tells him, look, leave me alone. Please don't call me. Don't be texting me. Don't be asking me for anything because I'm trying to still get my law license back, so I don't need to be fucking around with you. Now we see Cristobal. He's leaving, I guess, the gambling ring that what's his name had. Anyway, he's on the phone. He's telling somebody on the phone that, you know, he got $300,000. He gonna meet him in the morning. He throws his bag of money in the back of his truck, and when he gets in the car, then Kanan is in the back seat with a mask on his face. Nigga, give me the keys. Give me the keys. Turn the car off. Cristobal was like, wait a minute. You don't want to do this. Do you know who I am? I don't give a fuck who you are. Give me the keys. Okay, so Cristobal gives him the key, and Kanan opens the trunk so two of his flunkies can get the bag out the back and run. And then Kanan pistol whips him and takes off. So now Kanan got a hold of the money. Now let's move it on back over to old James and Fancy, child. They at dinner. And James is trying to work her for this money. Remember, he told Councilman Tate that he was going to take care of it, right? Okay, so now he's got his whole charming Jamie, you know, James St. Patrick, businessman, club owner. You know, he's giving her that. And he's just telling her how he really wants to make this happen because he used to live in that community and it was bad back then and he wants to make it better. You know, he just has this vision. He wants to do all of this. She says, do you think that you can do it? And he was like, yeah, I do think I can do it. You know, I know what I'm capable of. And when he said that, you know, Fancy looked at him with the eyes. She said, you know what? I think we need to finish this conversation upstairs in her room. James was like, okay. And then when she's walking by, she said, and bring the bottle. I said, bitch, it's fixing to be on, right? Charlie got up in that room, and we ain't got a good sex scene from old Jamie in a long time, child. And I tell you, it was nothing to be disappointed by. I'm telling you, it looked like it was a good time. I said, oh, Fancy, you nasty. They was on the wall, they was on the table, they was on the bed, facing in the place and fucking and doing all this from the back. And I said, okay. So I guess Jamie figured that he had did the damn thing and that $12 million that they needed from old Fancy was all but in the bag. And then at the same time, we see Angie at dinner with the director of public enrichment. All right. And I'm thinking to myself, like, is she about to get busy with old boy too? When he kind of starts hinting around that that's what he wants, you know, she give him the stiff shoulder. I was like, oh, okay, Andrew. Well, at least, I mean, but shit, you might as well get you some because Jamie out there getting plenty. Next day at work, she's talking to the black guy, and she's basically telling him that she needs him to go shut down that NYPD detective that's getting a little too close. That's one person that she really don't need to be worried about right now. So then we see the black guy and the feds, you know, they come with a warrant, say they taking over her investigation. You know, she's like, what? You know, let me see that paperwork. So he hands her the warrant, and she was like, oh, signed by Angela Valdez. It figures, you know, she's involved in this, right? Okay, she's trying to cover up something. And he was like, you got proof of that? And she was like, nope. I was like, okay, well, like we said, we taking over the investigation. Thank you. Now we see Tasha, she's over at Keisha's house, and, you know, Keisha just telling her how Tommy came over. He was thinking that he was about to get in back good. And, you know, Tasha's laughing like, girl, you let him in once. You know you gonna let him in again, like in. And she was like, no, please, I'm really not. But otherwise, how are you? Tasha says, well, you know, it's just a whole lot, and how Tyreek don't tell her nothing, and she feel like she don't know him, you know, and she don't feel like he's telling her the truth about anything. And Keisha was like, well, what you expect? You guys been lying to them kids their whole life. Okay, they don't know how to do better because they don't see better. And then after she said that, then she was like, oh, I'm sorry, Tasha. That was harsh, huh? I was like, bitch, I mean, you could have told her that, but you ain't had to get all attitudinal with it. Tasha was like, no, it's okay, because it's true. I guess they have been lying to the kids all this time. That's all they know how to be is liars. And Keisha was like, well, all I'm saying, Tasha, is if you want your kids to be different, then you have to be different. Now, Tommy mom shows up, a blast from the past. You know, she found out that Rhonda had been killed. You mean Raina? Oh, yeah, when is her funeral? Her funeral was a few days ago, Mom. Why are you here? Okay, Mama need a hit of some drugs. And then when she finds out that Tommy is still dealing with Teresi, she tells him, you know what, he is a monster. He's a devil. He is going to use you. And Tommy was like, sort of the way you using me for these damn drugs? And she was like, no, I'm trying to tell you, you need to stay away from him. He is bad news, mark my words. Dre goes back and tells the team, you know, the people that's working under him, that Cristobal is the number 2, and this is the person that you meet with. This is the person that if you have any questions, then you need to go to him first. Now, this is Spanky, 2-Bit, and the other guy, okay? They all laughing like, psh. Nigga, what is this? Is he the vice principal? I gotta go and talk to the vice principal? You know, like, nigga, how old are you? Cristobal was like, don't worry how old I am. Dre was like, you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. Okay, and the guy was like, fine, it don't even matter, whatever. That's what you want, then fine. But you know, 2-Bit and Spanky over there, they mad. Again, another slap in the face by Dre, by them not getting the acknowledgement that they should for killing Lorenzo. Now we see Angie and the team, you know, they still trying to figure out Jimenez, this woman. They be over the border, and the hermano and the brother and all that. And finally Angela thinks, and then she realizes, oh my God, we've been thinking that as a brother, all this is hermana. It's a sister. That is the sister. And the sister and the brother, Diego and, what did they say her name was? Alicia. They are in the United States. They're in New York City right now. You know what? Let's get these warrants together. Let's arrest them. They are the head of that organization. That will bring them down. Meantime, back at the club, you know, James is there feeling pretty proud of him. Still got him some fresh ass. Sometimes that take the edge off, right? Councilman Tate come in and say, hey, you know, how you been, James? He's like, I'm good. You know, James feeling good. He got the money back in the bag, but Councilman Tate says, yeah, I found out that you fucked her. Okay, threw her legs up in the air, and that just confirmed for old fancy Linda with her old nasty ass, you not worthy of her giving her money to. You not professional. So James was like, oh, she played me. Yeah, she played you and you played yourself. When are you going to listen to me? And James was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to get the money. That was just a little bump in the road, but I got this. Now we jump back over to Angie, and she's with the director for public enrichment. They in the hotel room this time, so we already see that it's fixing to go down. Okay, her damn phone keeps ringing. It's Jamie. You got to answer that? Nope. I sure don't. So she ignores the call, puts the phone away. So then Ghost calls Tommy and says, you know what? Remember you were saying you need to clean that money? You know what? Let's go on and do this. Okay, I got some shit I need to do. You got some shit you need to do too. It'll be just like old times, but then Ghost says, but I gotta know that you're not working with Kanan, because if you are, I don't need that kind of shit in my life. Okay, so if you doing that, then I'm not gonna fuck with you. At the same time that Ghost is asking that to Tommy, that there's a knock at the door, and who should it be but Kanan? So Tommy's like, oh, you know what, Ghost? Let me call you back in a minute. And then when Kanan comes in the door, he got the bag of money that he just stole from Cristobal. He said, that's $250,000. Am I in? Okay. And Tommy was like, you sure are. First thing tomorrow morning. He tells him about his dad in jail. You know, this is the bad part about Tommy. He just be running his mouth. He don't have like absolutely no kind of filter. He don't know how to just keep shit to himself. You were talking to Kanan. Kanan's just amazed that Tommy is related to somebody that's mafia. Oh, so that's how you know them Italians. Natasha takes Tariq to his new school. Look like it's the fucking middle of the night. I said, we don't start school in the morning like everybody else. Okay, so that's your new school, son. He's about to get out, and she says, wait a minute, I want to talk to you. And then she apologizes to him for her and James lying to them all their lives. And she said, you know, we came from a time we was on the streets, we was hustling, we didn't have much, we was hungry, so we started the drug dealing. But the drug dealing was not all that your father was. He was always a businessman first, and they basically grew the business, but they wasn't trying to lie to the kids just because they didn't want them to know the bad things about them. They was trying to make a better life for them, so they were trying to protect them. Shit that kids might not understand at the time, but they probably will as they get older and have their own kids. But she was like, we sorry. We just really wanted to have a better life for you. We didn't want you guys to see that kind of life that we saw. And that's why we wasn't telling you about what was going on. And that's when Tariq broke down and started crying and tells her how, he was out there when Raina got killed. Okay, he actually saw Ray shoot him, and he break down and start crying. And I tell you, this was the first time it had a little, just this much, y'all. I had a little bit of feel sorry for that stupid ass Tariq. And then lastly, it's the next day, and Teresi is getting checked out of jail just like that. Got his clothes on. Okay, walks out the gates. He's standing out on the street waiting for whoever's gonna come pick him up, and Tommy pulls up in his Mustang. Tommy gets out and they hug awkwardly, and then they get in the car, and Tommy was like, so, you free now, what you want to do? And Teresi was like, well, you know what, let's go get a slice and go on home. I want to see my girl. Okay. And then he says, and you and me, Tommy, we got a lot of trouble to get in. Okay. And then they kind of laugh and drive off. I was like, I have a feeling that it's a threat that Tommy might die at the end of the season, you guys. I don't really see it happening, But I wouldn't be surprised. He is involved in way too much. None of it good. And I don't know how he gonna get himself dug out of this. What y'all think? Y'all see that Courtney, the writer, she shot down the whole thing about Kanan being the father of Raina and Tyreek. So y'all can stop throwing that narrative around, okay? And you know it must have really got on her nerves that people kept saying that, because usually writers don't come out and say what isn't a part of a plot. You know, they would like to keep all of that shit secret, but I guess the fact that all that was just going around so much and was making it seem like that's what was happening, she was like, that is not true, stop saying it. Okay, so that's not the reason why Tasha hates Kanan so much. Anyway, you guys, how y'all feeling about the season so far? All right, you guys, let me get off of here. You guys make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.